Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today, due to a recommendation, even with me being sick currently right now, I was requested to turn Skyrim into The Witcher, or make it better than Witcher. So today we will be doing exactly that. But before we get into it, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content in the future. Also for my mod list, it is on my Patreon, which is down in the description. It is 100% free, so you don't have to pay for anything. But without further ado, let's dive right in. The first mod I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. It was super popular at one point, then people just kind of forgot about it. This mod is called Dragonborn voiceover, and for this video we will be using the Geralt add-on by TCB. This mod allows for your character when speaking with NPCs to actually voice their lines. Of course it's with AI, we couldn't actually get the voice actor for this unfortunately. But the lines do sound nice, they're just not exactly perfect.
Why smear if it's simple and strong?
Need any help around the forge? Here's an iron dagger.
Not bad, but it's a little dull.
I've sharpened the iron dagger.
Elves. This looks good. You put time.
You and Faendal both like the same girl.
Camilla.
Yes, two people spending time together never blossoms into courtship.
Is that sarcasm?
You're not from Skyrim, are you?
No, I'm not.
What does a kid do for fun around here?
Well, I used to.
So yeah, not exactly perfect, but for all intents and purposes, it's much better than anything else you'll find on Nexus, besides a properly voiced custom follower, but those people are paid. Maybe if I make enough money one day, I'll pay someone to fully voice the Dragonborn. One day at a time though. And while we're on this topic, I may as well showcase the best armors to use if you really want to get into character and really turn this into Witcher. And not just the Kaer Morhen armor, but actually nearly every single Witcher armor from The Witcher 3. All in one simple mod named Witcher School's Armors Collection by Yazan. It could be Yazan, that sounds better. And it's all in a mod that's under 300 megabytes. I assume that's because they aren't all 4K textures, everything, but that kind of makes sense. And the best part is, if you want, there is a spin mod for this as well, so you can allow other NPCs to wear it. Also let me know down below which school is your favorite. I'm kind of basic, so I just prefer the Bear School. And I bet most of you thought I was probably going to say Wolf there because I said I was basic, but no, I prefer the Bear School. The mod not only has multiple armors per school, so many in fact that I would have to actually make a completely separate video if I wanted to show them all in their complete beauty. But this mod includes the Wolf Medallion as well. And yes, also these armors are unisex, so if you want to also try being a female Witcher, then you can. I'm not entirely sure who the strongest Witcher is in the show, but it probably has to be Ciri, right? Well, not technically in the show, but in the game. I might make people mad actually saying that because I know people love Geralt and have a little bias towards him, and so do I if I'm being honest. But back to the armors. These armor are mostly considered light armor, with a few counting as heavy. So yeah, we're gonna turn this into Witcher. This is absolutely essential. Unless you got a better armor idea. Then you can do that and you can let me know so I can steal it later down the line. But just another great armor set is one that focuses solely on Ciri. And this mod is called Ciri's outfit. Pretty simple, right? It adds a modular armor to your game, and every single part of this armor can be crafted. As well as adding in multiple weapons to your game, including a sword, dagger, and a greatsword. This set at base only supports vanilla and UNP and the CBBE if you want to go for that route, but it is an optional file, it's not automatically included. But there's a separate file for this armor you can find on Nexus that does support 3BA if you're dead set on finding that. There's also SPID files for this just like the previous mod, so I guess we're pretty much turning the most important NPCs into witches as well. And I'm all for it. But this is a bit of an older outfit, came out about 2016 and last updated in 2018, so maybe there's a newer Ciri outfit out there somewhere, I just couldn't find it. But if you want more than just Ciri, then you're in luck. There is a female all-in-one from Witcher 3 named Witcher 3 Female Armors Redone, came out in 2022. This mods nearly every main character's outfit, and not just one but quite a few per character. These outfits also require faster HDT because they have their own physics, which you know any armor can sell me on if they have just that. But I mean, it is pretty hard to apply, so I never judge anybody that doesn't apply it, because it gets done eventually. But these armors are at base made for UNP, but can be converted to 3BA with another file. I might make that switch over to B-Hump eventually in my new list, just to give it a try, because if you've seen what I've seen, then it would make sense. Honestly guys, this mod is listed as a work in progress, but I wouldn't expect to see this updated anytime soon since it's been over a year now. But about these armors, to get them, you have to craft them, or you can just go to Alvor's basement and grab them all. But you do need the book first before you're able to even start crafting anything. Or you can just skip all of that and use an add item menu. So we stole Geralt's voice and got ourselves some armor, so I guess the next thing we have to do is actually get the magic. And to do that, we will be using a simple mod called The Witcher Signs by the one and only Cyrodiil. Honestly, you probably should have expected that because Kitty Tail carried 2023 for us. These spells take very little magicka to cast and don't really have a casting time, just like in Witcher. But they aren't going to overpower in-game Skyrim spells like Master Level or Expert, and that's fair. It'd be weird if it did automatically. But one thing to consider before getting this is that these can't be bought, you have to actually craft them. So unfortunately, we won't be starting with them unless you have an add item menu. The Witcher signs are true to themselves, such as Igni. It will shoot out a bunch of sparks, and a special effect it has that it probably doesn't have in Witcher 3 is that when it hits animals, they will attempt to flee. Quinn adds a protective shield around you and it will regenerate if it doesn't completely break, and it regenerates pretty slowly, but the thing is that each second you have it maintained, it will drain magicka per second. So it is balanced in that aspect, so you can't really abuse it to survive everything. Art is basically a better unrelenting force because you don't have to do any of the main story to get it. It pushes people away when you cast it and it's actually pretty fun to use, especially if you're going for a non-Dragonborn playthrough. Axii is probably the most overpowered in Witcher because it's basically like Fury and Calm spell mixed into one. It makes the enemy fight for you and it also makes them less difficult to be persuaded and intimidated. And REDONE lays a trap down to enemies inside of it. Instead of being slowed and weakened like in Witcher, this version hits them continuously for damage over time and also stuns them for you to follow up with the combo, which will probably kill them. The little miscellaneous one that isn't explained on the mod page is Guardian Shield. This one is like Quinn, but instead you have to cast it and then it's just there. You don't have to hold it. It's there until it's broken or the timer runs out. This one is definitely more handy in my opinion. Oh, and also there's a little mod that you can add on to this one. This one is called Casting Animations for Witcher Signs by SJC. Not sure what that stands for, but it adds animations using Dynamic Animation Replacer, and because it does that, Open Animation Replacer will be compatible. It adds them to every Witcher sign so that they are unique from regular vanilla spell casting. But it's definitely not a requirement. But in my opinion, you definitely should grab this. So we pretty much got magic candles since I don't know if Geralt was over there throwing lightning at people, so we're just gonna focus on animals now. And to do that, we just need two mods. And for the simple one first, we're gonna use Wolves of Cyrodiil by Michal. And it isn't just Wolves of Cyrodiil because that adds a completely separate wolf type that kinda doesn't blend with vanilla. What I do for a little tip for you guys is I use vanilla replacer version, which unfortunately got hidden, but if you Google Wolves of Cyrodiil on Google, it will take you to the archive where you can still download it on Nexus. So that one is pretty easy to find, but they do show up in your game as purple if you do this and you done grab the Fluffy Wolves version, which is on Nexus as well. So I guess it's kind of 3 mods, but you quite literally can combine them into one with no overlapping issues or crashes. So in my book, it's technically one. And I'll try to link the archive version in my description for you guys who don't want to use Google. The next one is a bit more on the evil side of Witcher. Besides those adorable wolves, this mod is also by Michal. This mod is called Old God to the Hunt. And I'll be 100% honest here. Unless you have about 3 followers with you and you're near end game like level 80, you would never win against this thing. But just because it's extremely hard to win against this doesn't mean it's impossible. And it's incredibly satisfying when you do happen to win. But sometimes you want to be careful because if it's one thing I know about this mod is that sometimes 2 of them spawn near each other. And my only advice at that point is to run away. If you can get away. These monsters also have their own spells, so they aren't just trying to hit you with melee attacks, which also do a lot of damage. If I didn't have God mode on while trying to fight these things, I would be dying pretty much every 3 seconds. But that's just because I only have 100 health. But even if I did have more than 100, around 500, I'd still be dead in a few seconds. But even in Witcher, there are monsters you just shouldn't be fighting and can't beat without planning. And even if you do plan, you'll be dying a lot of times, so I guess this is immersive in its own way. Oh, and one more little animal mod that I didn't include. Well, technically, they don't really count as animal, or maybe they do, I'm not sure. But this mod is called Skinwalkers. It overhauls werewolves to look much more terrifying. They were the closest to the Witcher werewolves that I could find, and I happen to already have them sitting in my load order anyway. The change is for player and NPC, so every werewolf you see in game from now on will have this new look. And at night having this thing chase you is very terrifying. This mod, as far as I know, doesn't have any incompatibilities, but due to the skeleton changing, in certain locations like Gallows Rock, the werewolf placement may be a little different. Like the werewolves may not be hanging up, and also the werewolf head on spikes are still vanilla, but other than that, still an A+ mod.
The prize.
Just a scratch.
Alright, that was it for today, guys. Let me know what you thought down below, and I think as we speak, my code may be getting better, so who knows, might be able to push out more videos. But anyways, make sure you guys drop a like on the video and subscribe for more content in the future. But as of right now, peace and love. Oh, and don't forget to endorse mod authors.